everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rare Book Cafe, episode 46. Lee, I'm feeling old.
Oh, but you're not as old as I am, Ed.
I wish I was 46.
Yeah, too bad we didn't do one a year.
Yeah, do we even remember 46?
Lately, we've been doing 2 or 3 a week.
That's right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Rare Book Cafe, the book lovers rendezvous. And you've already rendezvoused with my co-host, Lee, Linn, Ridge Books, Calhoun, Georgia. Hello, Lee.
Hey, good morning, Ed. Good morning, Richard. We're glad to have you with us.
Good morning.
I got my cup of joe and my Christmas mug. And our guest today, Richard Oates, Florida Antiquarian Booksellers, a raconteur, longtime member of the upcoming book show. And if I'm not mistaken, you are also the master of ceremonies for Dottie's Plate Lunch, Good Jazz Cafe, and All Night Blues Bookstore.
Yes.
You can tell I read that. There's no way I was going to memorize that.
Yes. We both like to cook and make things. And so this started out as, it's a way too long running joke that we actually have a restaurant cafe and we post some of the things that we make. And the funny thing is, people have called us and asked us for the directions or for a reservation. And I've had to tell them, I'm sorry, it's just a joke.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's one thing about you that's not a joke, and I know on your Facebook page, you are the daily doler outer, the daily deliverance of book birthdays, quotes, or other bibliophiliac the trivia.
Yes. Every day I try to do something that happened that day in history, generally an author's birth. Sometimes if I don't have an author, I'll do something else. I probably do it maybe 340, 345 days of the year. There's a couple days I don't have anything, but
do you do your own memes or you grab them from somewhere?
I create them with some type of photo. I usually try to have a quote of the author, something that that would maybe identify their theme or who they are, and then maybe a 50-word to 75-word short overview.
I enjoy it. All our listeners out there, go like Richard Oates on Facebook.
They can find it under myself, under Richard Oates, or they could find it under Blind Horse Books. It's posted on both, on the business.
Blind Horse Books, very good. And Blind Horse Books in Florida. I understand you are going to be joining Lee at the fair coming soon.
Yes.
And I know you've been there forever. Maybe quite forever, but for
I've been there since 2012.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Every year since.
One thing we find interesting with booksellers is where they got the name of their bookstores.
Okay. Well, we don't have time for that.
Oh, okay.
But I used to be an educator. I was also a basketball coach for 25 years. And a basketball coach does the pregame, let's go get them guys, inspiration. And one time I didn't think I needed it. It was just, we were far superior than the other team. And the guys are going, coach, you got to give me something. So I said, okay. And I led them through this talk. Like, this is the most important thing I've ever said to you. I've been saving this. You'll remember this your entire life. And I had their attention. And I said, the horse may be blind, but you still have to load the wagon. And they looked at me and they did exactly what you're doing, Ed. They laughed, except for one young man. And he became very upset for me that the guys were making fun of my important thing. And it became a joke that we used on the team forever. And then everything I ever produced in the school somewhere at the end it would say Blind Horse Productions. I began to buy and sell books for the school. And of course, I called the eBay store Blind Horse Books. And when I retired, I thought I liked selling books. There's a whole nother story of how I got into that. But I already had the name, already had good feedback, already had a presence. So I just kept it going. And so the name came from, again, a joke. It was just too good to let go.
Richard, you are a KOOL guy. Glad to have you on the show. All right, show us, what are you bringing to the show?
Okay. Well, what I'm going to show and bring to the show is I have some really good ephemera this year that's Florida related. I have a lot, but I have several, I think, really special pieces. And if I could just kind of turn my camera, I have something set up right here. What we have is a hotel brochure for the Hotel Gray Moss in Clearwater, Florida. Along with it is, too close, is a letter that was sent to somebody in Pennsylvania telling of the wonders of the hotel, and it's signed by the manager. They sent a postcard with it. And the Chamber of Commerce evidently made them put this in, saying that their brochure didn't include some things. So it's a very unique piece of ephemera, and quite lovely with this.
Early years of snowbirding.
Yes, with this, it's a beautiful watercolor of the hotel and what you could do: horseback riding, motorcycling, dog walking, etc.
No poolside bars?
I'm sure they had. I'm sure they had one. That was from, I think, and I forget when it was from. I think it was 1898. Another one I'm bringing is this Miami by the sea. The beautiful brochure, and it has this insert that talks about the 1925 hurricane and how the Miami is now open. So I found 3 in institutions, but none that mention this brochure, this additional piece put in by the chamber. And,
was that actually a Chamber of Commerce piece?
It is a Chamber of Commerce piece, and it's added this extra notice. And here's a beautiful piece for hotel in Clearwater, or for Clearwater. I don't have them out to show, but I have a lot of turn of the century hotel pieces. This shows the beaches and
nice material. That's going to be fun for somebody.
I hope so. And then just some other.
I'm not so sure some of these places still exist, do they?
Most of them do not. Something else. I sure hope someone buys this, because we were talking among ourselves about shipping books. This one weighs about 14 pounds.
Oh.
But it's so I get that in. Memories of a Legendary Surfing Beach in California, and it is a gorgeous book. Most of the pages are bordered, and it's a little tough to handle, but it has the photography and scenes from the beach.
Nice acquisition.
Yeah, it's quite nice, and um, this is probably the best piece that I'm bringing. I'm not sure how well I can
We'll
show it.
save the best for last.
It's in a slipcase, but it's a very
Guilt.
Oh,
What's the history of that binding?
well, it's a Beasley, Audrey Beasley binding, decorated, and it's a beautiful classic book with his drawings of the Legend of King Arthur.
you know, books that have classic books that have come out that are illustrated by Beardsley. It's almost like it's a whole new experience with that book.
Absolutely.
I had a Midsummer Night's Dream that was illustrated by Beardsley. It just gave you a whole new picture of what that play was like. That's beautiful.
And
We're finding more and more booksellers getting more heavily into ephemera, I think.
yes, I have a lot, but I love the pretty. I have a lot of pretty things
Yeah.
there at the show. The different bindings and such.
Is that Rip Van Winkle? Is that Margaret Armstrong?
No, no. I know who it is, but I can't tell you because I don't remember. But I haven't researched in it. I do know who that is. In my research house, that's too low, isn't
it? It just looked a lot like her work.
It does. That book is actually a Joseph Jeffries who did a stage production of Rip Van Winkle, and he was Rip, and it was quite notorious, quite famous. And in the book are actual photographs from the play and other drawings to go along with. It's a beautiful book, and I do like trying to bring things that are pretty.
Any other expectations before we say goodbye? Any other expectations for the show, which is going to be, everybody, are you ready for this? March 1st through 3rd in St. Petersburg, Florida, at the
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Let's show off the shirt here.
Old man reader. I put my glasses on to see it.
The main expectation, or the thing I like most about going to a show, is, of course, selling books. That's what I do. But meeting the collectors, whether they buy or not, being able to talk to people who are interested in the books that I'm interested in, kind of it revives you. Sometimes you get a little bit tired. Oh, this is nice, but I'm selling this, I'm selling that, but you don't really talk to anybody, about your books. And going to the show is just marvelous.
I would say that that's a personality trait that's common to this profession, that individually we're all introverts until we get around other bibliophiles, and then we can't shut up or stop listening.
I agree. I agree.
Well, with the theme of the show being Dr. Seuss this year, are you taking any Seuss material?
If in the next 30 days I find some, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too.
Yeah, I don't have anything at the moment that's collectible of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Well, Lee has sneakers.
I have Dr. Cat in the Hat shoes.
Okay.
That may be the extent of it.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you,
this
Ed.
week,
Thank you,
everybody.
Lee.
Richard Oates, Blind Horse Books, or Richard Oates on Facebook. Check him out. He's a cool guy.
And
All right,
I'll
thank
see
you.
you.
Everybody, the Rare Book Cafe. You can find us every week on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever good podcasts are given away for free. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.